Good afternoon. So today we're going to talk about people who have been sealed per se, and this is kind of a scary topic. People don't believe that their fate can be sealed. I'm not saying that everybody has a destiny or whatever. You can choose whatever you want to do in life, right? There are certain things that you're just not destined to do. We have limitations, to put it that way. And in this spiritual walk, in this Christian walk, and whatnot, whatever you want to call it, um, there are people who are so far gone from the truth and go so far into the world doing certain things that it's too disgusting for God to look at them in the face again. And this is true. Like, he can be utterly disgusted with people and just seal their minds as to where they cannot read the book, they cannot pray. There are people who cannot pray. Like, their mind has been taken away from it completely. You might talk to this person and you might find out that you're reading the book to them or trying to plead with them regarding something serious. And for the life of you, you just can't get in their head. That person might be reprobate, which means God sealed their understanding. He kept them from understanding what you're saying because he sealed their fate, which means they're going to eternal punishment, right? Some people call that reserved for judgment. So a lot of people are sealed. The book calls it reprobate minded. So we're going to just hop right into this. This is how you receive the reprobate mind. So we're gonna start in Romans. Let's see, look at my notes. We're gonna start in Romans chapter 1 and read verse 18, and we're just gonna read all the way down pretty much. For God holy, I'm sorry. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God has shown it unto them. So who's he talking about? The prophets, right? The prophets that we believe in have the truth inside of them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. People say that there's a God out there because some things might happen to them in this physical realm that they can't explain. So it means that there's something behind what you see. This is what it's talking about. Because that, when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. So God is saying they don't have excuse because they have proof now that God exists. Look at the creation of this world. I went through Genesis so many times, and look how this world is formed. And the book describes the creation of this world so accurately. And you have a historical context, right? And people are like, what happens to the Jews and whatnot, right? And nobody knows about the Inquisition. Nobody knows about um, the wiping out of the North Africans and the Near Easterners. The Israelites were taken through Africa. Nobody believes this, but yet we find skeletons of people. We find Israelite clothing scattered throughout Africa. They were being chased, and so the book says that they have been taken down by the northern tribes. And look who invaded Jerusalem. It was the Romans. The Romans invaded them. The people from the north. Right? It describes it as the times of the Gentiles too. The Gentiles being northern people, northern kingdoms. So people from the north, Europeans and whatnot, came down and destroyed Jerusalem. They did it at least 3 times. And so this book is accurate. And there's so many more examples of context that explain things happen. Things happen that we can't necessarily explain, but they happen. And so if you're looking for an explanation of why it happened, it might be found in this book, right? The book says that God put this in order. He's the one who initiated the conflict of the Inquisition. He brought the Israelite tribes to an end because he said they were colluding too much and performing wicked acts in their temples and their altars, worshiping other gods. And this made them angry. So there's some things we can't prove like that, right? But we know that Jerusalem's not there no more, not the original. We know that that culture's gone, that ancient culture's gone, and now there's this ridiculous debate: are they white or black? Why are the Palestinians there? Why are the Jewish people there? Who are the Israelis? Right? The book speaks about these conflicts. Right? We're at verse 22. And their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. So a wise person that believes they're wiser than who they are becomes a fool, just like a fool does, right? And changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. So you have all these churches with graven images, right? They have a graven image or a statue of Jesus, or they might have a gigantic picture on the wall. And everybody has their version of what they think he looks like. Everybody has their version of the Bible and what they think this person said or that person said. This person finds a book, the lost books. This person found this lost book. This person finds out Jesus had 4 arms and not 2. So they're like, oh, here's what he looked like, and they put a gigantic image of Jesus up to combat everybody else. And so they're graven images, and the 10 Commandments, Exodus chapter 20, tells us not to do that. And people are also worshiping these images too, right? You know, you're not supposed to worship Jesus. You're supposed to worship the Father in Jesus' name, because the Jesus is the Father's name, not the Son's. You can go to the book of John to see that. And Jesus said he came in my Father's name. He came in his Father's name anyway. So it's obvious Jesus is not his name, right? If he's saying he came in somebody else's name, so you're worshiping the wrong individual. You're saying praise the person who was a man here on this earth, but he's not in charge. But the one that's in charge in heaven, you're not recognizing at all. Who talks about the Father? Everybody talks about the Son. The Son this and the Son that. But it wasn't the Son's idea to do anything, right? It was the Father's will. So the one you're worshiping is the Father, or should be worshiping the Father. So we're getting that wrong anyway. And then stop bowing down to statues of Jesus and worshiping images of Jesus. Right? It's such a trespass, bro. Like, but then we got 24, right? Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. So they're talking about sexuality. Who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Like I just said, they worship a statue of Jesus, and Jesus was a man, so he became a creature on this earth, and they're worshiping the creature, right, instead of the Creator, which is the Father. So everything was made by his hand. And Jesus is the creator of this world, but he followed the Father's orders. So he became a creature based on the Father's orders. So if you're worshiping Jesus, you're worshiping a man, because we don't know what God looks like in his natural form, right? So we're not even talking about things like this, right? We're worshiping a creature image, a creature feature. And you got people talking about he was white. Why does it matter if he was white or black? Like, you're worshiping a certain race of people now, and the Mormons and things like that sitting here talking about, oh, we're better than you because Jesus is white. Nah, it's crap, bro. Like, y'all worshiping a sneaking image of a white person, bro. Like, it's a person. It's a person, bro. You don't worship another person, bro. Like, anyway. 26? For this God gave them up into vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Right? Women are naturally attracted to men, so they're against nature. There's an island next to Cyprus called Lesbos. It's the island of lesbians. Everybody's a lesbian. So many beautiful women I would love to penetrate, but hey, I can't do it because they don't like me. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, we're supposed to use women for sexual gratification, okay? That's what it's saying. Women are supposed to be used for sexual gratification. You are supposed to penetrate them. There's nothing wrong with wanting to penetrate a woman. If your man sees you and he's gushing over you and slobbing, because it's natural, okay? So if we stand at your behind, it's natural. Burned in their lust one toward another, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet. They receiving in themselves the recompense. So receiving in their mind the recompense. What is the recompense in their mind? We're going to read it. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gives them over to a reprobate mind. So this is the recompense, right? To do those things which are not convenient. So gay people are getting, I ain't got nothing against them, but this book speaks against them, though, and they got lynched. In the 20th century, they used to get lynched all the time. because it was not acceptable to the American culture. They were getting lynched along with the blacks and things like that. And so even today they're getting kidnapped and tortured and whatnot for being gay. And so what if you? I'm not saying that you shouldn't have freedom to do what you need to do, but imagine if you weren't gay, then you wouldn't have to worry about people killing you. Like you wouldn't have to worry about people chasing you down the street for your ideology. And to make it worse, you have drag queens in school. Like you have drag queens in school. Like these people are asking for death, bro, because they're so bent on freedom that they're literally just corrupting the minds of young children and making them sexual. They won't even have any knowledge by the time they get 20. They won't have any knowledge. All they'll know is how to shake their body. People are dying from transgenderism, bro. Like they're dying from depression. They're dying from their brains are shutting down, bro. You know, um, some people can't make it out of surgery, bro. Like some people can't make it out of transgender surgery. They live shorter lives too. Transgenders can't live past 50. Did you know that? Like a lot of them are dying at an early age because they're trying to desecrate their body. But I'm trying to figure out like what's wrong with their mind where they're depressed. How are you so depressed you got to change your body so much? Like, you know what I'm saying? You're a beautiful individual the way you're born. Why you got to change your body like that? That's depression. Don't let somebody tell you that's acceptable to just desecrate your body. Like, come on now. 29. Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable or impatient, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only to do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. This is loaded right here. Everything I'm describing, look at this modern day society, right? Let me back up to verse 28. They don't retain God in their knowledge, right? So who is talking about this book? Who's talking about what's in this Bible? If you think you know this Bible, let me bring around basic topics, right? In the Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible. People don't know the details about the creation. They don't know what was created on what day. They don't know who Lamech is. Lamech is one of the sons of Adam. He killed somebody, so that's what started the revenge thing. That's why people get revenge on each other, because God put a curse on Lamech. This curse on one man multiplied, and now the whole world kills. The whole world is with this. I got to get revenge on somebody. That's a curse God put on us, right? Nobody knows what the fruit is. I'm telling you what the fruit is. The fruit is the knowledge of the tree. That's what the fruit is. And it didn't say apple, right? The 10 Commandments. The average person can't recite the 10 Commandments. They don't know what Moses was, who he was. People are talking about Moses was an Egyptian. He was not an Egyptian. He was an Israelite of the tribe of Levi. So they're saying that the Jews lived in Egypt, therefore they're from Egypt. No. First of all, their genealogy is Asiatic, so they lived next door. They went into Egypt according to the scriptures, and they left Egypt. They're not from Egypt. Come on now. So I'm not gonna worship Egyptian culture and worship Egyptology, because Israelites took it with them, but they didn't. They're not from that culture. So you see why it's an insult to say that. If I'm an Israelite, I can't indulge in somebody else's culture like that, because I'm gonna start worshiping their gods, and I'm not doing that. So what do they say? Oh, Jesus is really Amen-Ra. Well, they spoke the Egyptian language, so a lot of words that they use to describe Egyptian gods they use for their God. But this God contradicts the Egyptian gods. He contradicts everything they do. Like, how you gonna say he's different and the same at the same time? It don't work like that. I'm talking about, this is just the Torah. We don't even know about the curse. The average person doesn't know about the curse of the burden of Jacob, the curse of the Israelites. They believe the Israelites are extinct. They got wiped out. The book never said anything like that. The book says they would be scattered to all nations. So it's obvious that Israelites still exist. Right now, it's like, who are the Israelites? They're scattered now. They're everywhere. How do we pinpoint? Well, look at the curse. The curse reveals who they are. They're people who don't have culture. Everything was taken away from them. They were brought on slave ships to another continent against their will. They have no power. They're blind and angry and mad. Who are the blind, angry, mad people? The black diaspora. So stinking obvious, right? Go to Deuteronomy chapter 27, read all the way to 34, and you'll see what the curse describes. Okay? And Moses cursed his own people. He's the one who told them all of these things. He's the one who cursed them. So Moses condemns you and Jesus saves you. That's what Jesus said in the New Testament somewhere. And they're talking about, we honor Moses. Moses didn't like you after a while because you got him cut off and he couldn't get into the promised land because you disobeyed him. So if anything, he was going to punish you. You know, we're stiff-necked out here. You know, stuff like that we don't understand. Sorry this video so long. This stuff's upsetting, bro, but let's continue. 29, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness. Fornication, having sex without marriage. We try to put other names on it. Having fun, sneaking off, living our lives. Blah, blah. Okay, I don't find fun in fornication. I just don't find it that entertaining. I prefer to be in private with a person that I knew for a minute. So that's why people are so stuck up nowadays, because they really, everybody wants my body. Everybody wants this. All these women walking around thinking everybody wants them. Now people are just insecure. That's why men approach you, because they just need somebody to use. That's why you get approached by men. It's not because you're attractive. Okay, don't even get that twisted. Wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness. I'm gonna be honest. There's something that's not really discussed in the LGBT community. They're very hostile people. A lot of them are very hostile because they're used to getting hostility. So I almost got jumped by them because they misheard something I said, and they also got mad because this man was trying to touch me one time, and it was back in high school. But this young guy was trying to touch me, and I was like, man, I'm not like that. He's like, man, you got a big caboose on you. You got a big booty. You juicy and everything. I'm gonna take you to the bathroom and penetrate you, all this, send all this nasty stuff to me. I went so crazy. I almost punched him in his face. I think I did, and he earned it. I'm just saying, that's the curse, bro. It's not convenient to talk to people like that, because you're gonna cause trouble. You're not gonna get your pleasure. You're gonna get hurt. And there was a girl standing next to me, and I had to say something real quick before I got dragged into the bathroom. But I grabbed her, and I was caressing her and everything, just to make them scared. I had to scare them. It was that bad. So I grabbed her, and we was kissing and everything. And I had to do that just to divert their attention away from me. And I said, bro, I'd rather rape this girl right here than have fun with you. I said that. I said, I'd rather rape this girl right here while everybody's standing there and strip her clothes off right now than have sex with you. And he got so mad and he walked away. I don't give a crap. Okay? And that girl was mad, but she liked me because I was genuine about my feelings. And that's what I get for not being gay. I got to kiss her and rub her booty cheeks and everything. But that's how I feel. That's how I knew that I am not homosexual. That's how I knew how I felt. I feel this way towards women. I want to rub them and squeeze them and stuff like that. I'm heterosexual, okay? That's what I want to do. Anyway, envy, murder, debate. Everybody, this is political, right? Debate. Here we go, LGBT community arguing with the politicians and the governors and things like that. All these people are getting mad and arguing and fighting, having fist fights and stuff like that over rights, when the Constitution and the Bill of Rights already gave you the ability to do whatever you want. So why is the LGBT community facing backlash? It's because a lot of them want to flaunt off or show off their sexuality. Keep your sexuality to yourself. Okay? Because you're obstructing the peace of mind of other individuals if you are too flamboyant. Right? How do I show people I'm heterosexual? Do I take my pants off? Do I wear the real small shirt so everybody can see my muscles and have heterosexual on my shirt? I'm gonna get laughed at. Right? They envy us. They envy the heterosexual community, and it's because we have more freedom to do what we want to do, and it's more acceptable. Malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God. God said, "If you love me, keep my commandments." That's in Luke chapter 4. So if you hate God, it means you're not keeping His commandments. That's between you and Him. I ain't got nothing to do with that. If I read in this book, it says, "Don't be yay," I believe it, because I believe He wrote the book. Without understanding covenant breakers, without understanding what? The laws. Inventors of evil things. What do a lot of the hypersexual community do? What does the hypersexual community do? They invent toys. They invent new ways to have fun. They have this sadistic culture. They have new toys, new technology. They have new ways to have fun, okay? They're inventors of evil things. None of these people are married. You can't express your sexuality if you're married. Okay? So that's the disadvantage of it. Disobedience of parents. Your parents are like, nah, you can't be gay. You gotta disobey them because you gotta stand up for what you believe in. You gotta follow your heart. Covenant breakers. These people, a lot of people nowadays don't believe in promises or anything like that. Back then, you got executed without natural affection. A lot of people are being, cold-hearted because they don't believe that there's love out there. There's love out there, people, but you have to show it. And there's no guarantee the person's gonna react the way you want them to. But be you, okay? Yeah, unmerciful. The small get oppressed. The weak get oppressed. It's always the weak guy that's considered the bad guy just because they're weak. You're not better than anybody just because you're stronger than them. Don't lie to yourself, okay? Don't let people lie to you. You're not better than anybody just because you're stronger than somebody. You're not better because you're stronger. You're better because you're better. Injustice beats injustice. Injustice beats justice all the time. Let's go to Second Thessalonians, chapter 2. And we're gonna read verse 10 through 12. When He shall come to be glorified in His saints, and to be admired in all them that believe, because our testimony among you was believed in that day. Wherefore also we all pray always for you. I'm sorry, that's chapter 1. Here we go. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. If you believe that being reprobate minded, and by the way, homosexuality is the easiest way to become reprobate, right? If you believe that it's unrighteous to do so, then you have to turn around. And if you don't, it means your understanding will be sealed. Because there's things that I understand that a gay person does not, per se. I have to explain certain things to a gay person because they live in a different culture. They have to understand how I feel being approached by somebody like that. I remember talking to a gay person, and he almost beat me up. He almost killed me because I made him feel so guilty for being gay. But I said, bro, you don't touch people like that. You can't do that stuff to people. You can't be grabbing people like that. It makes me feel uncomfortable that another guy even likes me. He didn't understand none of this. I had to get away, and he left crying, bruh. And then you had people try to defend them, right? Like when we were reading Romans chapter 2. Those who take pleasure in them will also be punished. All of the girls in that restaurant that day got mad and they beat me up by the bathroom. They beat me up. And the people was laughing about it when I told them. But they beat me up out of pure hatred. You get hatred for prophesying the truth. I wasn't trying to be like God. I was just saying, I don't appreciate that. I was just trying to be sentimental. Injustice wins over justice. But hey, we're gonna close out. But this is how you receive a reprobate mind, by straying away from the commandments too far. If you're too proud about the way you live, and you might become reprobate, and you won't know it. I hope that a lot of these people out here committing wrong, hurting people out here, can turn around one day, because it's only a miracle can make you unreprobate. Have a good one.